Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, the Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, beautiful people. Come on in, let's feed these ducks this morning. The butterfly is back and rested. Wow, did I get some rest yesterday, y'all? Woo! How about it? Who's in with us? Who's feeding the ducks early this morning? Miss Brenda Davis says, great everything, everyone. Happy Tuesday. All right, let's feed those ducks, Miss Brenda. Big Mike is in the house. Says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, big brother. Woke up to a text from you. How about that? So good morning, you guys. Let's pull Brandon on in so he can feed these ducks with us. Well, looks like he's getting his camera adjusted, so I'll give him a minute. Y'all, come on, feed the ducks with me. Come on. How was your yesterday? How was your yesterday? Just kind of told you how mine was. He got out, did a little bit of work, came back in, some TLC for myself. Learned something out of that, though. I'm going to share with you guys this morning. So y'all keep bringing in the good mornings. Let's get ready to get to this barbecue, get this food so that we can go out and do what we do. All right. Let's get this baby started. All right, y'all. Great morning to you. Great top of the Tuesday morning to you. Thank you guys for joining us for another round of Daily Motivations for African American Success. Well, we've been journaling now for quite a while through this book. I hate to show you guys my book. I'm going to pull Brandon in. Good morning, Brandon. Yeah. Somebody is going to bless me with a book, y'all. I need a book. As I was trying to set the show up, like I have to get so close to the word to determine if it's a B or A, to just to read it and to be able to put it out there for you guys, the titles and so forth. So I'm not really sure what happened to my book, but somebody blessed me with a brand new book. I thought this one was. I need to bless myself. I guess I've been asking for a while, so I need to bless myself with it, Brandon, right?
I don't think so. I think somebody got one for you. How you doing,
All right.
Mom?
Well, good morning, Brandon. Brandon, I feel so much better. I'm back. Oh man, I came home yesterday and I did some couch sleep. I was actually laughing at myself, you guys. I actually thought about a car with a hydraulic. Am I saying that right, Brandon? Hydraulic system?
Hydraulics, yeah.
Hydraulic system. Because I got in the couch and I kind of tilted back and just put my head on the side like this. And I slept. I know, y'all, probably about an hour and a half. Got up, showered, ate, watched a little bit of the game. I think I was in bed by 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
I think it was. And I slept so good. Woke up feeling this morning. So I'm back, y'all. But I'm not going to let myself get down to that point anymore. I'm not. I thought about even my dad as he got ready to leave. He grabbed me, pulled me close, and he said, stop running yourself down. He said, take a break. So I'm not going to that's not good. That's not healthy to let myself get to the point to go until my body says no. That's not good. And that's what I'll do because I really don't feel it until my body says, no, I'm not going with you today. And if we go, it's going to be a rough day. And so, and then let myself get hangry. You know, yesterday I'm out and I realized, boy, I'm hungry. I didn't eat. And so I'm fatigued and hungry. That's disaster. And that's foolishness. So, got to take better care of myself. So, that's my Tuesday moment. Over to you, Brandon.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you I got the chance to eat with my mom yesterday, y'all, when she was hangry. I made sure to keep quiet until they brought the food out. I'm just playing.
No, he's right. I get just, I get terrible when I'm hungry and I was tired. So I'm like, man, I ain't got no time for
And
no,
got stuff to do, you know.
and got to work and then deal with people. I was just like over it. Like literally, I just kind of wanted to toss my phone out the window. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I'm just over people right now. But it was a lot to do with me being hungry slash hangry and tired and sleepy. Just needed to rest. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but I'm back. So let's do this, Brandon. Let's do this. I'm gonna read, see who's jumped in the comments here. Cousin Fanay, hey, cousin Fanay, how are
Hey,
you? Good to see you out there. Good to see you out there. All fam, because we've adopted Miss Brenda, so we got all family in the house.
there we go. All fam in the house tonight.
Yeah,
Thank y'all.
yeah, what a
Thank y'all
great.
for a great woman.
I say, just what a great time to see people out there that you know, love, um, and just I don't know, just that you know and you love, just the
Yeah.
support. So
Y'all
because they're
showing up.
right, they're getting the food as well. They're feeding us and we're feeding them. So hey, we all feeding the ducks. Hmm, where can we go wrong with that?
Sounds good to me, man. I appreciate y'all being here every single morning. So let's jump right into it, y'all. We are reading through Daily Motivations for African American Success, and this book will help you focus on the thoughts, deeds, and attitude, or thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. And 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. But what it teaches you will last a lifetime. All right? What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So let's jump right into it. On today, we are what? Let's see, where's this October? Here it is. The Juice Man.
The juice man.
The Juice Man. Our title today. And our quote comes from T.M. Alexander, the entrepreneur who said, a river can't rise beyond its source. What's in the seed determines the fruit. I'll say that again. A river can't rise beyond its source. What's in the seed determines the fruit. There was a strong man who traveled with a circus. One of his more memorable stunts was to take a lemon and squeeze every last drop of juice out of it. He would then offer $1,000 to anyone who could manage to squeeze as much as one additional drop from the fruit. He boasted about his feat from city to city, but no one was able to win the money. Now, one day he came to a small town and pitched his offer. A small, frail woman stepped forward and accepted the challenge. She took the crushed lemon and squeezed several drops of juice from it. The man couldn't believe his eyes. "How did you do it?" he asked. The woman shrugged and said, "My husband has been out of work for nearly a year. I do this all the time."
Mhm.
When it comes to pushing ahead and using our talent, we must squeeze out every drop. When presented with a heroic challenge of carving out a better life, many who face barriers have managed to squeeze every drop from their ability. Think of how Marian Anderson became the first African American to perform at New York's Metropolitan Opera House. Charles Drew perfected blood plasma. John Baptista de Sable established Chicago. Jackie Robinson shattered baseball's color line. Richard Allen founded the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Phyllis Wheatley became the first African American poet. Garrett Morgan created the traffic signal. Millie E. Hale built one of the first black hospitals in the country. Wild Bill Pickett became known as the king of the rodeo, and Crispus Attucks was the first man to die defending our nation's freedom during the Revolutionary War. These men and women exemplified the best that is in us. Our time and place is now, and we have the opportunity to do all the pioneering we've ever dreamed of. As in all other times, we need only courage and determination to squeeze out every last drop. And our affirmation today is, I will use all my untapped abilities. Again, I will use all my untapped abilities. Over to you, Juice Woman.
All right, Juice Man.
Juice Woman.
I'll
You
take
got the
it.
juice. All right.
That's funny because it took me a minute to get the Juice Man right, and then with the lemon, it took me a minute to get that. I like this one, y'all, a lot. So I'll go back to how I was feeling, but I was still trying to squeeze every little drop out of what I needed to do what I needed to do. I get it, but it's still, I'm going to stick with, I will not let myself get back to that point. However, in life, sometimes we don't have a choice, right? It's different from making a decision to stop and get rest. But sometimes but let's say I was well rested and life pops on us. I love this analogy where the lady says, my husband's been out of work for nearly a year. So I've learned how to squeeze, but I do that anyway, you guys. It's funny because Jimmy will laugh at me because I will get the ketchup bottle and turn it over. I will take a piece of foil that I've used, but I can get one or two more uses out of it and fold it up, right? So that I could reuse it, right? I hate wasting. I'm the one that rolls the toothpaste thing up or squeezes till I get every bit out. And I've been known to cut the bottom off and put the toothbrush up in there. Because why? I know if I use all of this, I may not see the dollar or two that it saves me later, but it does. It does. So I don't even feel like we have to be out of work or something like that to want to use it till it's all used up. Right? Jimmy will laugh at me because y'all bear with me here, but I will I will put a piece of paper towel, somewhere here so I could just grab it out again for me rather than reusing it. I will put a piece of paper towel in my pocket in my house coat so that, hey, when all I did was wash my hands and dried it with the paper towel. Why not use it again? I don't know. So I think maybe I was raised not to waste things, right? To appreciate and value things, right? So I received that, Brandon, the juice woman. I've been conditioned and learned not to waste things, right? And we don't have to be out of work to do that, right? How often have we thrown away the mustard container with a couple of sandwiches, enough to cover a couple of sandwiches? Times that times a few. And what do you get? One trip to the grocery store, you didn't have to buy the mustard until the next time, which now saves you about $4 or $5, you guys. So I wonder if this time has made people feel like, hey, we better start turning the mustard jar and the ketchup jar over. So, and then a river, let's look at this. A river can't rise beyond its source. So it says a stream cannot rise above its source. Sentence used to apply that someone or something cannot surpass their own limitations, such as their own abilities, resources, or environment. But I'll say your mindset, right? You cannot rise above your mindset. Remember the last word? I keep going back to that one. I don't know why, but I love that one. It says, if you are not getting what if you want to know what you're asking for, look at what you're receiving. And if it's not your desires, right? If it's not what you are hoping for, then it's not the world. Or let me say that it's not God that has malfunctioned. It's not God that has walked away from you, right? It's you. You're praying without faith. You're praying just because we say you ought to pray. You're going to church just because that's what we do, right? Not knowing that the church is a building that we should go to and we should be the juice. It's a sad thing to go before a church of people talking about a big God and see no life in them, no seed in them, nothing in them that they can plant and expect fruit from. That's a sad thing. And Lord, I've been there. Looked out and saw people who just came to church, perhaps have not picked up their Bible or went down before their God since last Sunday, if they did it last Sunday in church. So that takes me to what's in the seed determines the fruit. What's in you? What's your fruit? Peach, plum, grapes, strawberries? Or did you plant a seed and get something different? Right? Are you the juice man? Are you the fruit man or woman? Who are you? That's what that seed is about. Who are you? Really? Because there's one that talk to us about no matter what, you know what you want because you are the person with you the most. You know the things that you don't share with us, right? Like I shared with you guys the other day, man, I had a come to Jesus moment. Like you need to get yourself together. When I realized, about my passwords and things like that, and I'm looking for stuff and I don't know where to even start to look for it. Because I got a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit. How can my goal be successful if I don't even know where it is? Right? So, juice woman, juice man, is there any more juice in the carton, in the fruit? Is there any more juice in your fruit? Right? Do you have a seed to plant? And when you plant it, do you know what you're expecting? Or are you just planting a seed like, God, give me whatever? Rather than, God, I'm planting your will for my life in this dirt. And some of us get this, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Brandon. Some of us will put the dirt in the pot and never put a seed in, but go back and water it, put it in the right sunlight, the right position, the right place, but no seed. And you're expecting something to grow beyond the soil. You're expecting one day to go there and see something peep above the dirt in your pot, but you never planted a seed. That goes back to Brandon talk about faith without works. Imagine that. You put dirt, you buy a pot, put the right soil in there. You learn where to place it in the sunlight, where it gets just what it's supposed to get. You water it as it's supposed to be watered. And you're expecting something to come out. But you never planted a seed. No different from buying a house, putting your furniture in, but living outside of it. Come on now, somebody. Juice woman, juice man. What's in you? Have you planted it? Did you know where to plant it? Do you know how much water it needs? Right? So I have a little bit more, Brandon, but I'm going to give this one over to you.
Thank you, Mama. Yeah, I don't have much more to add, but just be the juice man or the juice woman in your community or in your household. It's not saying that someone else can't be that, but try to, if that's the lane that you want to excel in, right? Let's say you want to excel in your career, you want to excel at school, or you want to excel even at home. And you got to understand, like, excelling isn't, you always having to push your gas and run yourself to the ground. What it is doing the extra step that you need to do in order to be the absolute best, not leaving a stone unturned, right? It's not meaning to, because I was thinking about you, Mom, thinking about myself, is we could look at this and think, I'm the lim. You can end up being the lemon being squeezed as opposed to the person doing the squeezing.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So we have to, I think, cognitively make a distinction between being the juice man or the man that gets juiced.
Hmm.
If that makes sense.
Say that again.
We have to make a
Yes, say it
distinction
again.
between being the juice man or being the man that gets juiced. Right? Are you because you can be going to work getting squeezed every day and thinking that
Mhm.
you're supposed to be giving up your lifeblood or your juice when you're the one that's supposed to be squeezing the juice. And I'm not saying out of anyone else, but out of our situations, our environment, um, um, our studies, things like that. We're supposed to be the ones getting the juice, not the ones getting juiced ourselves. And I think for us and for so many of us, we can get those two confused, right?
Mm.
We can get those two confused. It's kind of
Wow.
like I talked yesterday about Joe Dispenza saying that, you know, we really have to let the body know that I am the mind. I have to let my body know that I am the mind, not the other way around. So my body doesn't um, control what my mind thinks, but it does have like an overriding system, which some of us get to the point where your body says, no, I'm not going to obey you anymore. Right? I have a system that I was programmed for, that was created by God, that said that if you ain't acting right, this is the governor. This is the governor on your car that only allows you to go 150 miles an hour, because really you ain't got no business going 160, right?
Mm.
And so in that situation, our bodies have been created and designed intelligently, divinely, to override our system. When you are the juice, you're getting juiced instead of the one doing the juicing. So make that distinction, guys. So that means if getting enough rest, getting to sleep in a time to where you'll be able to wake up and function at proficiency, right? And every day you're not going to have 100%. We've said this on the show before. If you wake up and you have 80%, you could have, the beginnings of, or be recovering from a cold or something like that. You might be at 80%, but what you give to the entirety of your day, and I do mean holistically, is that full 80%. Don't try to give 95% when you only got 80. Don't try to give 50% when you got 80 to give. Get the most out of the time that you have here on earth. And so I think what is the juice? Let's define the juice. What's juice for you? Right? What's your limit? What is it that you're squeezing? Is it your career? Is it like a sports goal? Is it a fitness goal? Right? What's your lemon? And then what are you using to squeeze the juice out of that lemon? What are your tools? What are your capabilities? What are your talents? How can you accentuate those? How can you order those and organize your talents and your resources in order to get the most out of the current moment? And if anything, if we define what juice is in this scenario, the juice man, the juice woman, your juice is really your time. To me, your juice is your time. How much can you get out of this moment? How much can you retain out of this second? Because the second leaves, but the memory of it doesn't. The lesson that you can get from this second doesn't, and can be used and reused again and recycled indefinitely, you know? So I think about my daughter, who remembered, that was it last week we played as a family the matching game. And my youngest, Tupac, actually won the matching game. He got, I want to say he got 9 matches. My 3-year-old got 9 matches, and we all playing the game. He got 9 matches, just back to back to back. And my daughter, so I was impressed by his recall. But then my daughter this week, she says, "Can we play the match?" Or yesterday, she says, "Can we play the matching game?" It's been over 7 days, if I'm not mistaken. And then I was like, "Yeah, we can play the matching game." She's like, "Remember when you and me got 2, and then mommy got 4, and Tupac got 9. And I was like, how did you just, and I bet you she can tell you which ones he matched. Just the most random recall. So, I'm like, man, if I could get as much out of every moment, out of every conversation, out of every new experience as she does, then I'm all right. So my children are inspiring me. It could be an elderly person. I'm gonna find, or it could be a person that has a learning disability in the same space that I'm around. I'm gonna find something that I can learn from you, right? In that moment, I'm not gonna just let that moment pass me by. And so a lot of times your recall on things or your memory on things, it's just your ability to be aware, your ability to be present in the current and present moment. That's when you open yourself up for retention. That's when you open yourself up for being able to get a little bit more out of the 24 hours that we all have. Because have you ever known someone or been in a situation where it just felt like you didn't have as many hours in the day, or like somebody else was working and they had 28, 30 hours in their day? How did they get so much done in such little time, right? It may feel that way, but what it is in most cases is us not being efficient and our energy distribution. How am I? Because I'm telling you, when I was in Mexico, out at the ranch with my wife and her family, it seemed like time moved so slow.
Mhm.
I felt like one day was 3 days,
Mhm.
and I wasn't tired. I was recharged by the sun, by some of the leisure, by the natural resources, and just being out in that space, the mountains on one side and the valley, and the valley on one side and the mountains, and then the ocean on another. And it just felt like I had more of an hour than I had ever had.
Yeah.
And some people say it's because I'm not around Wi-Fi and not around cell towers and things like that. But even in that case, what is that doing to our sense of time and space, right? When we're at that table holding our phone, the lunch goes by faster and we don't notice as much, right? Anytime I'm walking around with my phone or something like that, I'm showing that this is the most important thing to me. Whoever I'm in the conversation with, they're not the most important thing to me right now, because if I talk to you with let's see, if I have my device here and I'm talking like this, and everything that I say, I'm using this to accentuate. That's like us having our phones, right? We're saying you're not the most important thing to me right now, right? And by the time our life is over, or we get to, we don't see someone, or the relationship is now more distant, we will begin to miss that person. If they pass away, or we, are getting to the end of our life, all we're going to want is our relationships,
Mhm.
right? So use your time wisely. Get as much out of this moment as you can, because you cannot get it back. But you can take the lessons from the present moment. And you get those lessons by being more self-aware, being more intentional with what you do throughout the day, and being a great manager and a good steward of your own body. The word that was originally used um, in both the Bible and in the Quran, but I'll speak specifically for the Quran, is Khalifa. As far as God put a Khalifa on the earth, and a Khalifa is a steward, or someone who is to take care of the earth, and plant in the ground, and grow fruit and be abundant, right? Well, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. You are made of the very same thing that the earth is. So take care of yourself first. Take care of your own body, your own mind, right? You see that soil on the ground? It's the same thing inside of your skin, your bones, those same minerals, those same compounds. That water that you see in the ocean, that's 70%, 70 plus percent of the earth. You also are 70 percent of water. So in taking care of yourself, that's part of your stewardship. That's part of what you've been allocated. That's your body is part of your provision, right? So if you haven't protected that and done right by that body, then you're not going to be in position to take advantage of all that you can juice around you. You're not going to be in position to take the last drop out of every single moment, get the most out of these moments. So if you are looking to be the juice man, make sure you're not the juiced man or the juiced woman. Make sure that you're doing the juicing and that you are leading your life as opposed to following the headwinds or the tailwinds of whatever blows by. That's it. Over to you, Mom.
All right, Brandon. So I'm going to leave with this. I'm going back to growing a tail. Can't
Hmm.
remember exactly what day that one was that we talked about it on, but I want to read just a bit of it. Responsibility develops, this is the quote, responsibilities develops some individuals and ruins others. So I'm going to challenge you guys, take responsibility for you, your seed. And I'm going to say this, stop allowing people to squeeze all the juice out of you, right? When they haven't even planted their seed, or to squeeze your fruit dry when they haven't planted, don't know what kind of seed they got, they haven't planted, but they're always telling you what to do with your juice, squeezing it out for you and wanting you to do what they want to do. Stop, right? Stop. Because, y'all, we'll get caught up in other people's mess. So take responsibility, right? Let responsibility develop you, not ruin you. The lack of it ruin you. And I go to this part. We are our constant companion. That's what I was speaking about earlier. You know you with you. You could fake the funk out here, right? In them streets. But when the lights go off, baby, you know the thoughts you have. You know what you desire, but you're afraid, faithless, fearful, hope, not of hope, right? In the situation. So we are a constant companion and we know better than anyone else what is good for us and what we want and need. You know if you're squeezing the juice, you know. So today just might be your today show. We had another one that talked about, keep going because you never know what this day will bring. But if we're going to keep going, let's make sure that we stop, take care of ourselves so that we have the ability, which is a word in our affirmation today, we have the ability to keep moving forward in a proper way. Not like I was trying to do yesterday and the day before. I should have just stopped. I should have called out and said, look, I can't. I can't. And I did to a degree on Friday. I did, right? But not as I should have, right? So y'all stop. Take care of you. You are the seed. When you plant that seed, you're planting you, right? So it says you know by the fruits of the spirit. What are the fruits? What's hanging off of your tree? What can you squeeze out of it, right? Or is there fruit with no juice? Sometimes not, just because it's dried up. Nobody has even picked them to get the juice out of them. Not even yourself. So y'all, let's go be great today. Brandon, I looked up for some reason, I don't know why, Millie Hale. I just kind of wanted to see where the hospital was that in the passage it talked about her opening the first hospital. Does anybody know where that hospital was without looking it up? I had to look it up. No?
Um,
It's the Millie E. Hale Hospital. She opened it
Mi-
with her husband, John Henry Hale.
was it in Mississippi?
It was in Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah. I thought that was
Mississippi.
interesting. Yeah, y'all, it's in Tennessee. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. So just a little known fact. It was so many beautiful things. As you were reading that, Brandon, I thought about how we don't know how many things have come from people who look like us. You know, there was a plethora of information about the traffic light, right? The hospital, just so many wonderful things, y'all. So stop walking around feeling small, right? We are great. We are great. We're great. So y'all go be great today. If you've not planted your seed, plant it. If you've planted it, replant it. It's too big for the pot now. Replant it. Resoil it. Put your hands in the dirt and know what you're planting. Know what you're planting so you will know what you are expecting. Don't be the one to go to the pot and drop a seed and not know what you're planting and what you're expecting to get. You want strawberries? Plant strawberry seed. You want life? Plant life. All right? So go be great.
All right, John. Well, if you didn't plan to be great today, change your plans. Today is a day to be great. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Our title today, as you all know, was The Juice Man. The Juice Man. And our quote came from T.M. Alexander, who's an entrepreneur, who said, "A river can't rise beyond its source. What's in the seed determines the fruit." And after a passage, we came to the affirmation, which says, "I will use all my untapped abilities. I will use all of my untapped abilities." All right? So go out there, be great, be the juice man, be the juice woman, and make sure you're not the one getting juiced. And we'll see you next time on the In This Season podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure to turn on those notifications if you will. That way, you'll get notified every time we go live. But all right, y'all, go out there and be great. Love you. Peace.